Hello, and welcome to Sideways. It's been a very busy week this week. I've been to Scotland and back, and essentially this is a roundabout way of telling you I haven't had any time to edit this episode, and I haven't had any time to think about what I want to say in this introduction. So essentially what follows is an unedited version of this week's chat, and it's about platitudes, and here's some birdsong. Good evening.
Yes, good evening to you. You all right?
Yep, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks, mate. Yeah, it's a slightly strange feeling, isn't it, recording on an evening rather than Sunday morning?
Well, I'm more knackered, if that's what you mean.
Well, you've had a long trip, haven't you, this week as well? So
Yeah, not drugs related.
Yeah, wrong phraseology, perhaps.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about this week anyway? Because I've just realised that I don't know.
We did talk about it, actually.
Oh, did we? I thought you'd say that. Yeah, gaslighting me again.
No, not gaslighting you, mate. I know we did. It was one of those rare occasions where we actually did have a chat beforehand. So it's on Platitudes.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
You remember?
That. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I mean, it's one that I've sort of had in the locker for ages, but I've only recently actually put it on the list. Because I remember thinking ages ago when I was sitting in an AA meeting and coming out feeling that I hadn't really learnt a great deal or felt nourished by the experience, which is unusual because I like the AA meetings.
Is that because there were a lot of platitudes?
There were a lot of empty platitudes going on, and I thought, perhaps I'll find a different AA meeting. But anyway, I've been back since. It's been fine. It's just one of those occasions, and we've done an episode on cliches before.
Yeah.
But there's stark differences between cliches and platitudes, even though they're sort of linguistic cousins.
Nice.
Do you like that phrase?
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, I just noted that down just before we come on air. I was annotating my notes as I always do.
Do you? Right, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought, I quite like that phrase. I jotted that one down. But before we start.
Yeah.
There's a couple of headlines that have caught my eye. What, are you laughing already? You don't know what they are?
No, I know. I was laughing about something I saw today, which I'll tell you about afterwards.
Oh, okay. Talking about catching your eye. The first one was mum threatened with social services because she has huge eyebrows. Right, okay. That's the sort of article I just had to have a read through. And it's not as serious as it sort of makes out. She'd grown quite accustomed to drawing on her eyebrows and made them larger and larger, and they're sort of going halfway up her forehead in the end. But she liked
Groucho Marx type of thing.
Yeah, but they were very big, and she liked them obviously, which is absolutely her right to behave in that fashion. But yeah, she got trolled a lot on TikTok and stuff, and saying that she can't be a good mother. It's the way she looked, the trolls.
Oh, really? I want the social services got involved.
No, they didn't. The people were saying you should social services. We're going to tell social services because so it didn't actually go that far, but she was threatened by the trolls that's what they were going to do.
So people were going to tell social services that she had big eyebrow.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not the biggest crime I've ever heard of. But
I'll tell you what, that'd be right at the top of their list of priorities, won't it?
Wouldn't it? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all the troubles they got going on, and they're stretched to the limit anyway. We better go and check these eyebrows out.
We've been dealing with a very difficult eyebrow case this week.
But the second headline I quite liked was teenager caught offering free squirts of hand sanitizer to shoppers that turned out to be super glue.
Oh, that's not good, is it?
It's not good. Can you imagine that? I mean, it's.
Would you take a free squirt of hand sanitizer from a teenager?
No, I wouldn't. Perhaps during COVID, then it was probably much more acceptable, wasn't it, to do that? And there was people being kind, but again, that's not a nice prank, is it, to play?
No, because you're either going to get your hands super glued together, or you're going to get your hands super glued to a shopping trolley.
Well, that's it. I mean, super glue tends to only really work on skin anyway, doesn't it? You can use it on all sorts of other materials. They say it's supposed to be, when it first brought out, this wonder substance. I've found it rarely sticks what I want it to. But
it certainly does stick things.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they should use it in the NHS, shouldn't they?
They do.
They do glue stitches.
They do.
They do glue cuts together.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah.
A bit different with super glue, but yeah.
It's funny that the thought of having your hand stuck to a shopping trolley. The thing that I was reminded of when you talked about headlines was, I don't know if have you seen that viral video clip of the woman who was waiting for the shutters to go up in front of a shop?
No, I haven't. No.
So I think it must have been CCTV video. You'll be able to find it quite easily because it's even in the news today.
Oh, right.
This lady was waiting outside the shop. I think she either works in the shop or she cleans the shop or something. And she was waiting outside and one of those big metal shutters was going up.
Yeah.
And it caught her coat.
Okay.
And she went up with the shutter, which is hilarious. She wasn't harmed, so no harm. But the thing that really made me laugh was she had one of those shopping trolleys, the sort of wheelie trolleys.
Yeah.
You put shopping, and she didn't let go of it. It's like she was, even when as she was being raised into the air, she was holding on to a shopping trolley for dear life.
She wanted to keep her possessions safe, even in the face of adversity. It's a bit like you see these things where people get caught in the lift. The lift doors closed, don't they? And their coat or their belt around their coat's got caught in it, and they get dragged up. So it's
she was upside down. I think she was a bit worried that she was suddenly going to fall and straight on her head.
Imagine that.
Perhaps that's why she was holding on to her shopping trolley so that it might break her fall,
cushion the blow somewhat. Yeah,
exactly, yeah. So have a look for that afterwards.
I'm going to.
Quite a giggle.
I can't not now, can I? Now you've explained it and illustrated it so well.
Yeah, I think it only had. I think it had 1.8 million views at the last.
Yeah,
she's gone. She really has gone viral.
and she probably doesn't really want that to happen either.
No, I don't think she. I think she was taking it all in good humour, but yeah.
Anyway, subject matter.
Yeah.
So as a quick summary, the difference between cliches and platitudes. And when I looked these up, and cliches tend to be defined as overused phrases that were once considered original or insightful.
Yeah.
But become cliches when they're overused, such as plenty more fish in the sea.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure, I remember my mum using that phrase.
Yeah. My mum used to say, somebody's got to lose when we came in, and I told her we'd lost.
Okay. Yeah. Which is quite regularly. Yeah.
Which is a cliche and also a very annoying one.
It is. It is. But platitudes are considered sort of unoriginal and shallow, really. I think that's the difference. And such as money can't buy happiness. Throwaway line, isn't it? And it's very shallow. And they tend to be, platitudes are defined as emotionally lazy.
Yes. Yeah, where you haven't really thought through exactly what it is that you want to convey, and therefore you give something that's so general as to be almost meaningless. Yeah, and it can anger those who receive them because they lack a bit of empathy and effort. And a couple of examples of that is nobody's perfect. And it is what it is. That's one I personally really don't like, but it seems to be almost like a cover-all for some bad behaviour or whatever. That's interesting, because I think I use that sometimes in a therapeutic sense.
Do you?
Well, not. I don't say it is what it is, but I tell you what is quite a useful way of describing something to someone, because everyone wants to judge what it is that they're feeling,
Right.
Oh, I'm feeling this and it's really bad, or whatever it is. And so I find myself saying to people, well, how about if it isn't good and it's not bad, but it just is?
Okay.
That's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
You're not going to accuse me of platituding.
I'm not. I think that has a little bit more depth than your common or garden platitudes. I think you could avoid it. But having said that, when I was going through this and doing my research, I thought, oh, God, I've used that before.
Yeah. Well, we will have done, won't we?
I think we're all guilty of that. But I read an interesting blog by someone called Christine Rose, and it was the headline was platitudes that are dangerous.
Oh,
so there's 2 or 3 examples I want to go through, but I mean, often people are usually pretty well-meaning when they utilise them, aren't they? They don't necessarily mean to be hurtful, And when I was looking at this, I thought, I'll probably use these when I perhaps tried to start a conversation with someone or talk to someone I'm not particularly familiar. A bit like small talk. I think platitudes almost have a place there, don't they? They come in there and it smooths the path sometimes. And
gets the ball rolling. You mean?
It does, and they're not a big deal, are they? It's an opening gambit, I think, really. But if you use them if you're talking to someone that's close to you, and they've just told you something which is fairly heartfelt, using platitudes at that point can be considered a little bit more insensitive and at worst sort of or invalidating the person, or it could compound any trauma that's involved there and slow down their recovery process.
Right. So somewhere someone tells you that someone close to them has died, and you say, "Oh well, time's a great healer."
Well, exactly. Yeah, it's just no comfort. But again, I think sometimes it's born out of discomfort, isn't it, of the situation? And not being
you feel as if you've got to say something, and you end up saying something that's completely pointless.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. And I think it's sometimes going to be hard to think of something positive or something original at that point, and especially regarding something like trauma. And I know trauma, we've talked about it in the past as being at the root of most addiction issues. So I think it's quite important we understand some of the issues surrounding platitudes in that context, which is which ties into our podcast, really. And that's perhaps a little bit tenuous, but I think it is useful.
Well, and bearing in mind that we're using the word trauma in its broadest sense.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree. But there was three very common platitudes that I just wanted to discuss with you. And when I was doing the research, it went through these three particular ones in this blog I was talking to you about, and gave alternatives as to what you could perhaps say. But it's those I think are a little bit more contentious. Some of them just seem to be almost as platitudinal, if that's a word. So we're just.
It probably is.
I'll ask your opinion on it when we get there.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
And the first one you've already sort of mentioned out of the three I want to talk to you about, which time heals all wounds.
All right. Yeah.
And I think it's one platitude we hear too many times, don't we? Really, it almost states to the person that regardless of the impact of the situation, if enough time passes, you'll be able to get over it. But that's poor advice, and it's untrue, isn't it?
Yeah, I think as you said, that's one that's often used as a reflection of the discomfort in the person who's using it.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's almost the inference in it is, hurry up and get through your pain because I don't like it very much. Rather than being able to kind of stand with someone when they're struggling and not feel the need to give them any sort of, nonsensical statement like that. Just kind of be with someone when they're feeling.
That's absolutely right. I mean, especially if it is a trauma, for example, like losing a child. For example,
oh, God. I mean, crikey, I can't. If you lost a child, surely.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Perhaps that's a bit too harsh, but domestic abuse, for example, which again is very traumatic, and it's not something you get over particularly. It's something you learn to deal with, isn't it? And time won't do it on its own. You've got to put some effort in, haven't you? Like with therapy and some help to do that.
Yeah. I mean, time is a great healer, or time heals all wounds is actually not true.
No, is it? No, it's completely untrue. Yeah,
because when someone dies, that's a wound that you carry.
Yes,
and the best that we can do is get to the point where we see the wound, but it isn't as painful anymore.
Absolutely right.
And we wouldn't want to forget anyway. We wouldn't want to be healed to the extent that you say, "Well, I never think about that now." It's like it's like how I feel about the word closure.
Yeah,
we've got to achieve closure. I don't really believe in it. We're changed by things that happen to us.
You are absolutely right. I mean, and I know you and I have talked about it in the past. I mean, having lost a younger brother, who was obviously a good friend of yours as well. And it's not the grief hasn't. It's dissipated, but it's still got a place in my heart. My heart's grown around it. The place in the heart is still the same size.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That it doesn't change. It's not about healing, is it? It's about, as you say, building something up around it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Building something from the change that occurs through it. Yeah.
Yeah, and just an example of the idea on this blog as to what you could say instead. Try to say, I know this is hard, but I also know that you will be able to get through this over time. If you need anything, I'm here for you. Isn't that a platitude, really? I'll be here for you. People throw that away, don't they, sometimes, that line? Whether they are meaning that or not, I don't know.
The thing that I struggle with in that response is I know you'll get through it over time bits, because it kind of almost feels a bit unnecessary. I think the courageous thing to do with someone in that situation is almost the last bit. It's like, I'm here with you. I know this is tough. I can see this is tough. Can't imagine how you feel, but I want you to know I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Yeah.
And anything else is kind of superfluous. That the notion of you'll get through it. I mean, I think there is a place for saying to someone, you won't always feel like this. And one of the most important places for using that is when someone's suicidal. I think it is important to say to someone, the way you feel right now is not the way you're always going to feel. You'll get through this. It was almost like it can be used in that context almost as a lifesaver, literally.
Yeah.
I think when someone's struggling with a loss or something traumatic that's happened, I think we're too keen to kind of hurry them through it, remind them that they'll get through it. Don't worry about that at the moment. They're in it. Stand with them in it. Don't worry about what happens next. So that would be my feeling about that.
And that's a good feeling. But again, it's probably there's discomfort there, isn't there? Which is why people want to hurry through that, either for themselves or for the person that's suffering, because it's a really uncomfortable situation.
I think most people who are feeling as if they're really struggling for whatever reason, I think mostly they will value people around them who will just be with them however they are at that moment. Those are the most precious people you can have around you when you're struggling.
Absolutely right, which is nice if you've got a circle of friends or a family that can slot into that position. I agree.
Exactly.
The second one was, again, which we hear it often, and it's never sat neatly with me, which is everything happens for a reason.
Oh, my God, yeah.
It's awful, isn't it? And again, it's a frustrating platitude, I think. Yeah. And again, I don't think people mean it maliciously, but it sort of implies that whatever's happened to you is justified or deserved, doesn't it? And that can be insulting or insensitive.
Yeah, I mean, again, it just feels like something that's, it's lazy, as you said at the start.
Yeah.
But secondly, what's the point of it? It's like you're trying to create sense and fairness and legitimacy where it might not exist. I mean, it's not true, is it? Everything happens for a reason. How do you know?
Well, quite, yeah. It's invoking almost quasi-religious concept there, really, in some ways. I mean, if you told someone that's been subject to domestic abuse or sexual assault, for example, to say that, you went through that for a reason. I mean, that can compound the trauma, can't it? It's. I think when I was looking this up, it's known as sort of secondary trauma, which I'm sure you've come across in the past. And it implies a lack of free will, and it takes a blame away from the abuser, doesn't it? Effectively,
it's kind of a bit victim blamey.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, there's a kind of version of that, the sort of everything happens for a reason, that the only time that sort of sentiment is helpful, I think, is sometime later when someone has moved through whatever it is that's happened to them. And you might find yourself having a conversation with them and maybe talking about, how they've changed as a result of it, how they've grown as a result of it, what has shifted for them. I mean, a classic example here would be when someone has got years of sobriety under their belt, and you might look back at their years of active addiction and all the terrible things that happened.
Yeah.
And if they're doing something like you do, now it would be quite legitimate for me to say, well, actually, you learned a lot from your addiction, didn't you?
Absolutely right. Yeah.
You gained a lot. You might have lost a lot as well at times, but now it would be an appropriate time to have that conversation. But if I kind of said that to you right in the in the midst of addiction, or everything happens for a reason. I mean, how's that helpful? It isn't, is it?
No, not at all. I mean, it's look, again, the research suggests, when you're dealing with trauma, you need to erase that sort of platitude. Instead, say something like, "I'm sorry you're hurting. It's not your fault. Remember, I'm always here for you again." It's sort of to empathise and to validate the person, I think, which they're looking at there.
Yeah. I mean,
I believe you. I think that's also, especially if someone is coming to you with reports of domestic or sexual abuse, and then I think it validates their feelings by saying you believe them.
Yeah, yeah, certainly acknowledging someone's pain and reminding them that they are not to blame are important.
Yeah.
But it's important also to remember you don't have a responsibility. There is no need. It is unhelpful to try and take someone's pain away from them, because it does not belong to you. It belongs to them. It's for them to decide when that pain is changing, not for you to tell them it's going to happen and when it's going to happen, because you don't bloody know.
I'd imagine that's that set of circumstances is something you're quite familiar with, isn't it, in the therapy world?
Yeah. I mean, that's, people come in all manner of different stages of pain, but it wouldn't be very helpful if we said, "Oh, don't worry, you're going to feel better." I mean, it's not.
I don't. You better. It wouldn't really validate your profession as a therapist either, would it? At that point,
no, because actually one of the things that is difficult about therapy is having the courage to stand with someone in their suffering.
Standing shoulder to shoulder with someone at that point is invaluable, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't take it away. It's not yours. It doesn't belong to you. You don't control it. And I think our ability to accept that, whether it's a family member or a friend or, a professional relationship like I might have with someone, I can't take someone's pain away. It's not mine.
No,
and so any sort of statement that it glibly suggests, "Oh, well, you won't have to deal with this for all that long, you'll get through it," is really quite disrespectful, I think.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is insensitive, and it can have ramifications.
Yeah.
The last one was, and this I hear quite often in addiction circles, is that others have it worse. Just to contextualise that, as far as addiction is concerned, sometimes we get the situation where one partner, perhaps there's two people in a relationship, both got drink issues, and to sort of stop one of them going into recovery, they say, "Well, no, you're not as bad as there's other people who drink much more than you. Others have it worse," and that can be the damage that causes is unquestionable, and can be quite far-reaching.
Yeah. So as you say, it's really unhelpful, and it's unhelpful whether you say it to someone else or whether you say it to yourself.
That's true.
People often say to me, as they're describing their challenges and troubles, they say, "I know other people have got it much worse than I have." And I always say to them, "Well, how does that help you, thinking like that?" Because pain is unique. If you're hurting about something, your pain is not comparable with anybody else's. You're just in pain, aren't you? If you hit your finger with a hammer, it's no good saying, "Oh, well, because someone else has had an injury worse than this, that doesn't hurt anymore." It hurts, right? It's bloody painful. If you're experiencing emotional pain and you start to compare yourself with other people who you believe are in greater emotional pain, the most likely outcome is that you make yourself feel worse, because then on top of the pain, you start to feel guilty about acknowledging your pain through the belief that someone else might have it worse. So the best thing to do is just accept it, and certainly not to say it to someone else. Other people have got it worse than you. I mean, it's so insensitive.
Well, it's awful. It suggests really that trauma is a competition, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And that you're not allowed to feel bad about what you're going through because your problem isn't bad enough.
Yeah,
on the pain scale, you're nowhere near where you should be.
Yeah, you just encourage people to be shameful with that sort of behaviour.
Yeah, and I think that sort of thing, I know when I've heard it, I think it's condescending, but it's not. Again, it's not comforting. It doesn't help the situation at all. And
I can't think of a single situation where saying to someone, "Oh, come on, other people have got it worse than you is helpful.
Yeah. No, it's not. It never is. But again, it's one of those platitudes there that I'm sure you've heard it. Gets trotted out.
Yeah.
And I think
I'm just trying to think if I've ever used it. I probably have, but I don't think I've ever used it professionally.
No, quite. No. That wouldn't be good. But I think it's quite nice to identify these so we can eradicate them in the wrong context from where we are when we're dealing with people.
Yeah, I think it's like you said at the start. It's worth one of the things you can do is you can kind of reflect on how much effort you're putting into the statement you're making to someone.
Yeah.
If you're just, pulling something out of the ether that you've heard 1,000 times before, then you can be pretty sure that you're not putting much effort into how thoughtfully you're approaching this situation. And maybe that's the time, to think again before you speak and, think about a different way of perhaps phrasing what it is you want to say.
I agree. And the suggestion here is instead of saying others have it worse, try saying, I'm sorry you're going through this. I hope things get better for you soon. Or even better, validate them or validate the situation by saying that sounds difficult. I can understand why you're upset. Anyone would be in your situation. But again, I'm here to stand next to you if you need me.
Yeah, I think that sort of, I'm sorry you're going through this. I hope you feel better soon. Is a lovely one because it doesn't attempt to take any sort of control or ownership.
No.
It's a genuine expression of empathy. I'm sorry you're going through this. And it is also a genuine expression of a hope for something better without any promise of when it's going to come. I think that's a perfectly good, legitimate response.
Which is a good time to sort of round this up, really, with a sort of closing thought. So there's only 3 there. There were others, but I don't think they were as powerful, really, or as badly used. And rather than just string the episode out for the sake of it, I thought it was
Yeah, we don't want that. And our listeners certainly don't.
No, they don't. So I was going to come to my, or the closing thought. It's like Jerry's final thought. Remember that on Jerry Springer?
I don't think I ever saw Jerry Springer.
Didn't ever watch Jerry Springer?
No, I don't think so.
No, it's car crash TV, really, isn't it? But it's
it's not the sort of thing I'd like. It feels like sort of televisual equivalent of TikTok.
Yeah, it is really. I mean, it's like
social media.
Yeah, like the Jeremy Kyle show, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't see that either.
No, it was awful voyeuristic viewing, really.
Yeah.
But anyway, just a little phrase I was going to read there as a closing thought. Though they might not seem harmful at first glance, using platitudes can cause a lot of harm. People generally say them to end an uncomfortable conversation when they don't know what else to say. Learn to say something different. Learn to validate rather than dismiss.
Yeah, and learn to be comfortable with other people's discomfort. Because if you can be comfortable with other people's discomfort, you will be a true support.
You will, and if people feel comfortable enough to tell you that they're pain, then you should feel sort of grateful that they have that trust in you.
Yeah, that's not a bad one.
It's not a bad little seggy, but what was it?
Whose go is it first?
Well, on the gratitude list.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go first anyway because I can't remember. Because do you remember last week I had free cakes?
You did have free cakes, yeah.
That was on my gratitude list for last week. For this week, I've got free bread. And you know where that came from?
I made it.
Your good self, the sourdough bread, which is always...
Was it a good one?
Very good, yes. Yeah. Yes, I used it in my sandwiches for going to work. And I've...
Did you put that ghastly sandwich filling that you told me about in it?
Yeah, of course. Of course, yeah, but I finished it.
What is it again? Tell me what it is.
Some red Leicester cheese.
Yeah.
And then there's some egg and bacon mayonnaise in it.
Oh, that is so disgusting.
Lovely, mate. Honestly, you need to try it. It's not.
I'm definitely not trying that.
It's not.
I'm a bit funny about egg mayonnaise sandwiches anyway.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm not keen.
Okay.
No.
Well, you
anyway, you crack on. I mean, at least the bread was good.
The bread was brilliant, mate. Yeah, I'm grateful for that.
Even if the filling was atrocious.
So that's my gratitude list entry.
Okay,
this week.
so this week I'm grateful for the vet I've just been to see in Scotland because he's been looking after my dog, and that's the 3rd time we've been up there. And she's shown great improvements on her scans.
Brilliant.
So it's been quite a trial, but it feels like it's all been worth it. So I'm feeling quite grateful for that. And I'm also grateful, I think I said last time when I did that trip, I'm grateful to get home in one piece.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
it's quite a long way.
I don't know what the round trip is in miles, but it's...
Oh, I don't know in miles, but it's about 15 hours in driving.
Wow.
In 2 days, which is quite a lot, isn't it?
Well, it is. I mean, in the UK, that is considered a massive journey. I mean, our cousins across the pond in America, they think nothing of going great long journeys, do they? Because they've got such a huge country. But to us, that's a phenomenal.
Yeah, you'd probably fly though, wouldn't you, in the US? If
probably, yes.
So that's what I'm grateful for. I'll tell you what I'm not grateful for, though.
Okay.
And maybe I've just been unlucky, but on the last 2 occasions I've been to Scotland, for my breakfast, I've had various iterations of scrambled egg, right? I think the first time I had scrambled egg with some smoked salmon on toast, and then yesterday I just had scrambled egg on toast.
Okay.
But I'm forming the conclusion, and if we've got any Scottish listeners, which we probably have, then you'll have to put me straight on this. I'm beginning to think that the Scots can't make scrambled egg because both times it's been ghastly, like rubbery nonsense. But it was so bad yesterday that I thought, no, I need other breakfast. So I went somewhere else to a little coffee shop and had myself some spiced porridge with a strawberry compote on it, which was just about the best porridge I've ever had in my life.
That sounds fantastic.
So we know the Scots can do porridge.
Yes, we do. Yes, yeah.
But I'm not sure. I think they need to up their flipping scrambled egg game because that is not looking too clever at the moment. Unless, as I say, I've been unlucky and I'm casting aspersions unnecessarily and unfairly.
Okay. So it wasn't a service station stop, was it? You ate that
No, it wasn't. The first one was in the hotel I was staying in, and yesterday it was in a little cafe where the coffee was very good, but the breakfast was shocking.
I remember staying in Scotland back in the corporate days in a hotel, and there was some other people there that were at the conference, and there was a Scottish guy there, and he said, "You've got to try salt in your porridge. That's how we eat up here." It's probably one of the most disgusting things I've ever eaten. Evil. I don't know if you've tried it, but
I don't know if I've had just salted porridge. I mean, I don't need much sweetness in my porridge, but I'm not sure I'd want it salty.
It was horrible. I like the idea of the strawberry compote. That sounds
it was spectacularly good, really. Yeah. It was one of those sort of dishes you think, I don't know how to replicate this. You know, usually I can eat something and I think, I could probably have a go at this, but nah, I wouldn't know where to start with that. It was that good.
Well, that's a good thing to have on your gratitude list then, isn't it?
I might have that next week.
Yeah.
Spiced porridge with strawberry compote.
That sounds great. It does sound good. But I'm going to move on to the feature, which is off of that list of 100 skills that every person should master.
Right.
And this one was performing the fireman's carry. Is that one that would you... I don't know, it's vital. It's never one that I've had to use, so I can't see how it would come into the...
Well, where would you need it if you were getting people out of a burning building?
Yeah, that's why it's called a fireman's carry, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm not a fireman. I call me old-fashioned, but I rely on a fireman to do that.
Well, that's it. I don't really... it's rare that I pick people up and march them along the street, just using a fireman's carry. It may have been back in the drunken days, and probably did, and dropped people. You know what it's like coming home from the pub. But certainly, I don't think it's one of those skills which you if you can't master.
I'll tell you, no, the only thing that came into my mind there was it probably would have been useful if either you or Les had been giving your elder brother, a fireman's carry on his stag do when he fell through the fence at St. Luke's Church, and you had to stay up half the night with him, making sure he didn't choke on his own vomit.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But,
so though
other than that, I can't really think of a time in my life where it would have been useful.
No, me neither.
So we can strike that one off the list.
Yeah, we can. And we'll move on to On This Day in Music, but which year? The little quiz.
I'm feeling surprisingly confident actually in the evening time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let's see how it pans out,
shall we?
Yeah.
Do you know number one in the UK? Which year? Dead or Alive released "You Spin Me Round"? Yeah, it was massive, wasn't it, at the time?
That's quite difficult. I tell you what, this is one of those ones where I'm not even sure of the decade.
Oh right, okay.
I'm going to go 90s. I think it's probably 90s.
I related it to the people that I knew that were around at the time that used to liked it. You know what I mean? That's the way I've nailed it.
I don't really remember. Maybe it's 80s then.
maybe late 80s, early. I'll tell you the year that's in my head is 88.
You're 3 years out, mate. 85. So not bad. Not bad.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's good because I was going to go 90, so I would have been even worse. So, okay, that's a disappointing start.
Disappointing start. Do you know which year Justin Bieber was born?
The Bieber.
The Biebs. He was born on the 1st of March. So
the Bieber-thon.
He's just had his birthday. And I quite like that. He's a bit of a bit of a teeny bopper sort of thing. I really like some of his stuff.
I'm not sure he is so much these days.
No, not these days.
He still perform. He's not been well, has he?
No, he hasn't been well. But
I don't mind some of his stuff actually.
I like some of his stuff.
I think he's probably in his mid-30s now, isn't he? I'm going to go 1990.
Yeah, a little bit. 1994. He's actually just turned 30. So he's just had his 30th birthday. I mean, I've
been 4 years out on both questions.
Yeah, but the Biebs, he was quite wee, wasn't he, when he first came to prominence? He was like 16 or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm discovering that my confidence was misplaced.
It is a little bit, but you're cracking on, aren't you?
I've been brought down to earth, haven't I?
You have. I could have issued a platitude up there, couldn't I? It'll get better next week.
It's probably... That's right, better luck next time.
Better luck next time, yeah.
Not the end of the world, is it?
So we'll see how you get on with the last one.
All right.
This is a death of the great Keith Flint from The Prodigy. He died at the age of 49.
Oh, this is recent. So recent ones are tricky because they often show up to be a little bit longer ago than you think. But I'm feeling the last 5 years. I'm going to go 20. I'm actually going to go 2020.
You get a point. 1 year out. 2019.
Oh, yes. I would have been bang on with 5 years then.
Yeah. Yeah, when you said that, I thought you were going to sniff yourself, but you've got a point. You're on the scoreboard.
Oh, that's all right. That's okay. Yeah. I mean, that was a tap in, but
it was yeah. Well,
I had a chance of a screamer from 30 yards. But
so he goes into a super group, a dead super group, doesn't he?
You've got nothing but bloody singers in that group.
I know. It's just the way it falls.
I mean, what are you building, a choir or a super group?
Well, I like it. It just depends upon who's died at that time in the calendar.
I don't know what that flipping vocals are going to be all over the place in that band.
They are, aren't they? Yeah.
Houston, Flint.
it's. I'm gonna have
Roussos.
I'm gonna have to jot them down because we're gradually forgetting them.
You do need to jot them down, and I think they'll have to take turns in adopting lead vocal. I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they'll have like a little subs bench. Bring them off. Yeah. They can do backing vocals, and they'll take it in turns to lead.
Yeah. I don't. We haven't got a drummer, have we yet?
No,
we need a drummer.
We do. There's plenty of those around that can fit.
Ask me when John Bonham died in about September time, and I'll tell you it was 1980.
Okay, all right. I'll keep that in mind. I'll give you a shoe-in for a 2-pointer.
Thanks very much.
So that's about it, mate.
Good. Okay, well, I'll let you get off to the football.
Yes, well, it's looking rainy out there. I'm becoming less enthused about going now.
Oh, flipping part-time supporter.
Yeah, we'll see. See how I feel.
All right.
Okay, mate.
Laters.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Sideways was created by Graham Landy and Martin Pankhurst. If you want to read more about our work or sort through the extensive archive of past episodes, just visit grahamlandy-wellbeing.co.uk/sideways-podcast. You can follow us on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram at Sideways Podcast, and you can email us if you have a question or if there's something you'd like us to cover. But most of all, we want to tell you how grateful we are that you come and listen, and we ask that if you've enjoyed what you've heard, that you spread the word. And we'll see you next week.